LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing, co-hosts Brian Schmidt, PJ Noodleman, and producer Dangerous Dan Margetta. Call the show anytime at 414-421-7901. And now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And a happy Easter to everybody here. Glad you could take time out of your Sunday morning to be with us. Todd Bailing in Phoenix, Arizona, joined by my three partners back in Wisconsin and our engineer in a nondescript location in a sleazy hotel at some city in Indiana. But other than that, Brian Schmidt is back home in Utzberg. Hi, man.
Happy Easter. Yes.
Oh.
Great day to celebrate a big holiday here. So no racing today. There are only 2 off weekends, I think, the whole season. So got to see the Norp Cars race yesterday at Rockingham and celebrate with the family today.
Yeah, Rockingham is back. PJ Noodleman over on the state's left coast in Trempealeau. Hi, PJ.
Hey. Hi there. Happy Easter, everybody.
And Dan Margetta, who is back home in St. Francis.
Yeah, good morning. Happy Easter. And yeah, did it what Brian and PJ said.
Matt is back home again in Indiana. So he tested this deal when he was in Phoenix a couple of weeks ago, and it should be good, and we're happy he dragged all the crap with him down there, and we're able to do the program. As Brian mentioned, they did race. They're not racing today, but it was the return of the Rockingham track. A really neat place to watch a race. Barely over a mile, so call it a mile, but it's high banked. It's not anything like Milwaukee or Phoenix, which are relatively flat, particularly compared to the high banks at Rockingham. Neat joint. I've seen a couple of races there myself, but it's been a while. That's the one had a drag strip across the street from the track that my friend Jerry Gunderman asked me if I wanted to go along in his plane, and we landed on that track across the street and then walked over to the race. It was awesome. William Sawalich won his first race. Willie Sawillie finally breaks through and wins it. That was on the CW yesterday, and I could not watch it out here in Arizona. I don't know if it was a local issue, but I had DirecTV, and Brian, apparently that was only a regional thing, right?
I guess, yeah, because it was on my DirecTV affiliate. Now you had to watch it on your TV through your satellite at your home location. You can't stream like my 24 CW18 is the channel in this area out of Milwaukee, and you can't stream that off your phone. So if you got the DirecTV app, you can't do that. It's been that way since the CW took over coverage. But I had it on my TV, and it was fine. Good to see, and kind of cool to see Willie get a win. You know, that was one of those guys that we've talked about that has been very underperforming in the car that he's been in, and he straight up kicked their butt at the end of the race yesterday, and it was kind of good to see.
I think he needed that, because
yes,
last year didn't go very well, and the season didn't start very well so far, and people were kind of starting to talk, so he needed to do something. It's a performance-based sport, and he performed yesterday. I was really shocked at how tough Rockingham is to get around. I didn't remember it being that tough when they ran there all the time. And it's probably because we're just used to it now. Now we haven't run there for so long, and with last year and this year, it just amazed me how that's a hard track to get around.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Heim won the truck race. Boy, there's something I've never said before. That guy is absolutely amazing. By the way, I was kind of watching on my phone. I wasn't home. And when I went into a restaurant, Ty Majeski was second. And I came out, and the race was almost over, and he was like ninth or something. PJ, what happened?
Well, he went to pit. He was trying to pit early and kind of undercut Heim. And as they were coming out of the pit, some Scoobies spun out, and they threw the yellow, even though I don't think they needed to, but that caught Ty in the pits. So then he was a lap down, take the wave around. He had to start back deep behind all the other lap traffic.
And that's one of those situations where I thought NASCAR was going to do better discretion on those types of things. I mean, the guy got sideways, create a little bit of smoke. He didn't hit anybody. He didn't hit anything, and he just drove off. And I thought, and maybe it's just on the Cup side, I thought that when pit cycles were going on, we weren't going to be throwing cautions for those situations anymore. Now, this probably was the B team as far as race control at Rockingham, and I suppose they just hit the button right away. But that screwed up what could have been an interesting strategy, because Ty took 2 tires in that situation, so he would have gained a ton of time on Heim, and Heim would have had to have tried to make that all back up with what time was remaining in the race. So it would have been really interesting to see if that would have worked.
And instead, all the lap cars went in then to pit, so they all had 4 tires. So Ty had everything that could have gone wrong go wrong. So with 2 tires behind all the lap cars who had 4 tires, he was just
hanging on for dear life.
Best part was he was the last car in the lead lap in 9th, so nobody was really going to pass him. I guess that was his only saving grace there from really probably having a bad run.
And then Chandler Smith got DQ'd for ride height in post-race inspection, so that actually bumped Ty up to 8th. And that actually kind of helped him salvage even better a good points day for himself.
I guess bottom line, it's just dumb luck, you know. I mean, a guy. I mean, I know we talk about throwing a caution, not throwing a caution, but sometimes it seems like, you know, you're never happy. And this is the case. We don't want him to throw a caution. Other times they want him to do it. It's in the end, it's just dumb luck. You tried something and it was going to work, and then, you know, somebody got loose and spun and wrecked it all. So
The ARCA East Series ran at Rockingham. Tristan McGee led every single lap. I think what's really noteworthy about that race is that the new sensation, I'll call him sensation because he is a piece of work. Cletus McFarland finished 4th in that thing. I didn't see the race. He must have been good, or there were so many crappy cars.
He was solid. I mean, he was within, he said all day he could see the leaders in front of him. So he kept pace. He finished almost 6 seconds behind him, but you know, he was a solid car. Whether you've been a top 5 car without Gavin Bushell wrecked, and I think there was a Connor Hall crash. Those 2 were running in front of him. Probably not. He probably was a 6th place car, but I mean, for a guy that has very limited laps and had never raced there, and as we said, how difficult of a track Rockingham is, I give him an A for his effort at Rockingham. He did well. And he said after the Norp race, the biggest difference is ARCA cars, way more downforce, less horsepower. So you can mat it and it'll stick. And we've been saying that for years, that the ARCA cars are so much easier to drive. He said once he got into the Norp car, how much more difficult that was, because it's more horsepower and way less downforce. And he says they are a handful to drive. So it's cool to hear that from a guy who doesn't have all that experience. That explains why we see so many of these kids hop into these ARCA cars and dominate, and then they struggle in the other cars. And Cletus is a testament to why that is.
Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of like we're all learning along with him because he's such a great communicator. He has a pretty damn good audience, doesn't he? Like millions of people.
Oh yeah, millions and millions.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's got like no arrogance whatsoever. I mean, him and Max Reeves are like opposite ends of the spectrum. You know, Max Reeves had a problem, pitted, got 3 or 4 laps down. You know, they talked to him after the race, and he's like, "Oh, we had a really good enough car." You know, he admitted that he was a bad race. He probably doesn't know how to drive that car so good, but you don't get any of that out of Cletus. He'll say how difficult it is and how tough it is. I mean, he was just tickled pink to run in the top 5 in an ARCA race. He goes, "I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd be able to accomplish this." But, you know, so to say the guy isn't learning would be a disservice, because I think he is learning leaps and bounds every time he does it. I just wish, if this is something he really wants to do more of it, race more of it, get some stuff together so you can do more of it, so it isn't just such a one-off thing, so we can really see if you have that kind of talent or not.
We mentioned this, but he bought a short track car, and he's going to start racing a super late, which is a really good place to start. I don't know that he needs to be running at Talladega in a couple of weeks. That scares the living daylights out of me, thinking a guy with that little experience is going to be at a place like Talladega where you can get swallowed up and spit out in a big hurry. So something to consider. The life and times of Cletus McFarland. We all get to experience it along with him. We're glad you're tuned in here on Easter Sunday. We've got a special guest for you when we come back. It's a guy we're going to start seeing race for the Kawicki Cup next week. We'll be right back.
Ready for a weekend that's pure vintage vibes? Spring Vintage Weekend with SVRA hits. Road America May 15th through the 17th. Classic muscle, old school racers, and the coolest throwback machines you've ever seen, all ripping around the 4-mile track. Grab your crew, grab your picks, and get close enough to smell the horsepower. Spring Vintage Weekend, May 15th through the 17th. Come for the experience. Stay for the race. Get tickets at roadamerica.com.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Spring is in the air, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need, with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to Enviro mulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years, PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
Welcome back to LTN. This young man will be the only representative of the Kawicki Driver Development Program from the state of Wisconsin this year. Ken Sauter joins us. I would assume you've already been to church here on Easter Sunday, right, Penn?
Yes, sir. I went at 8 a.m., so.
Good man. It's pretty exciting stuff to be Wisconsin's one and only candidate in the Kawicki program, correct?
Yeah, it's obviously pretty cool seeing that Alan's from Wisconsin. And, ever since the program got started, there's been one from Wisconsin, and it's pretty cool to be the only one now going into 26.
I have to tell you, there's a kind of an irony to the whole thing. Your grandpa, who started this whole racing thing with that family of yours, that massive family of yours, Jim Sauter raced against Alan Kawicki, and they had some pretty good battles over the years. And here you are with the name of Sauter, and actually you're going to be carrying the name of Kawicki at the same time to make people aware of the Kawicki legacy. You got two legacies to worry about, a family legacy and the Kawicki legacy all at the same time. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously it's pretty cool. And like you said, both names. And we got two races here in Wisconsin this year, the Kawicki race and the Sauter race. So, kind of a mixed little thing there carrying both names. But obviously, like I said, I'm really honored to be a part of this program. And my grandpa raced against Jim for a long time, and looking forward to it.
No, the first race is coming up in 6 days. Are you ready to go?
Yes, sir. We went and tested at Grundy last week, and now we're just hoping the rain holds out, honestly. I'm looking forward to getting back to the Dells and kick the season off.
So what does the entire season look like this year? Last year you kind of dabbled with a little bit of, you did most of the Midwest Tour. You did, some of the Slinger races. You did a couple of Stars races on the 4-barrel stuff. What's your schedule look like this year? You're going to run the Triple Crown thing at Slinger and the Midwest Tour again?
Yeah, so we're going to try to hit as much Midwest Tour as we can, hopefully the whole season. Couple Stars races, I'd say 5 or 6. And then, we're going to go for the Triple Crown at Slinger, run the Nationals, obviously, back to Nashville in November. That was really fun last year. And if everything goes good, we're going to try to make a Derby appearance at the end of the year. So.
Ooh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Have you kind of thought about what you've run both the 4-barrel stuff and the 2-barrel stuff. Have you been able to comprehend the two and the big differences between the two? Do you have a preference of either one that you run?
Yeah, obviously I tell everybody that I like the 4-barrel a little more just because it takes you can go hard for a couple laps, then it starts to take some finesse as you get longer into the runs. But yeah, obviously 4-barrel stuff's a lot of traction. At the end of those runs, it gets pretty hard to find traction, and that's usually the guys that start to go to the front. And I'd say 2-barrel stuff, it has traction too to it, but it feels momentum based going from a 4-barrel to a 2-barrel. Like it honestly feels like you're going 10 times slower. So yeah.
Penn, how good are you at taking your dad's advice when he gives you some insight on what to do?
I feel like I'm getting better at it. When we first started racing, obviously I was still learning myself, and now that I've got a couple years under my belt of racing, I feel like I can take his advice and maybe take some other people's advice, my uncles or anybody, and kind of all put it down into one thing and try to execute it. And like I said, just looking forward to another year working with him, and hopefully we can find victory lane a couple times.
What do you think your superpower is? Every driver's got a bit of a superpower. For some people, it's restarts. What's yours?
I don't know. I always qualify good, so I'd say probably that. I don't think I've qualified outside the top 10 like all year. So I don't know. I've just always been good at that.
Awesome.
Penn, I think it's kind of cool that you're part of this deal because it kind of rewards racers, and I think you're a racer. I hope people realize that don't really watch you run. That you're not just in it for the fun. You're in it because you're kind of like all of us. You're addicted to this deal. But when you don't drive, you're actually out helping out and stuff. I think it goes a big way that you're not just jumping in the car and driving. You're actually doing other things as well, right? In races you're not done, you've actually helped people out, and so you kind of know the whole aspect of it.
Obviously it's really, really cool to see that side of it. I don't want to be considered a suitcase driver like some people are, and I want to be able to understand my car. And I feel like a big aspect to racing is to understand what your car needs, is to be able to know everything about your car. So super grateful to my dad and everyone that helps us here at the shop, Max, Steven, just people that come here and help, and I can keep learning off of all of them. And yeah.
Penn, what grade are you in?
I'm in 10th grade. I'm a sophomore.
And what school do you go to?
I go to DeForest High School.
DeForest High. Okay. Are you kind of a big deal in that school? I mean, I would think that you're. Hey, here comes Penn Sauter. Is that kind of like what it is?
Honestly, I try to kind of lay low. I just go to school, get my work done, and come home. Honestly, I wouldn't say that I'm kind of a big deal. I just try to keep to myself and humble, and yeah.
I always thought that must be kind of cool having a guy of your stature as a sophomore in high school. Good God, that's pretty awesome. I would think.
Yeah.
Is the plan for you, Penn, to just try to turn this racing thing into your full-time gig? Is that what you'd like to do for career?
Yeah, obviously that's been my dream ever since I started doing this racing thing, and even since I started going to the racetrack, is I was going to make a career out of this, and feel like I just got to keep setting myself up for success with obviously good runs and everything that goes with it, and feel like we can achieve that.
I got a weird question for you though. If racing was ever taken away and you were not able to do it, what would your career be? What would you be doing if it wasn't racing?
Honestly, my grandpa was an electrician. I'd probably go to trade school and just do that. Honestly, that's all I've ever thought. If I couldn't do racing, what would I do? And that's what's always come to mind. So,
so suffice it to say, you're pretty good at wiring a car, then.
I'm learning. Usually, Schuler comes over, and I try to watch a little bit, but I'm still learning, I guess.
Oh, that's fantastic. Your career seems to be headed the right direction, my young friend, and it's we're all kind of on your team this year. We don't even have to split our attention among a couple different drivers from Wisconsin. So you're the guy. We're watching close. It starts this coming Saturday at the Dells, and best of luck to you from all of us here at LTN.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and it's always fun to be on the show, and hopefully we can do it again sometime soon.
I have one final quick question. Sorry. Part of the Kulwicki thing is doing some charitable type work. What are you planning on focusing on for that portion of it?
Yeah, so for the last 2 years, I've went over to the burn camp over down by you guys, and we just kind of have a race car night. And it's just fun to see like the kids. So we're doing that, and then we had the pink numbers last year. We're gonna do that again with breast cancer awareness, and I'm sure we'll find some other one to try to help out.
Fantastic. Hey, it's really cool to watch your career develop right before our eyes. Good luck to you, and we'll see you this season.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Penn Sauter, who's going to be the Wisconsin candidate for the Kulwicki program this year. We're going to sneak away for a break, and we'll be back right after these.
For LTN, that's pure vintage vibes. Spring Vintage Weekend with SVRA hits. Road America, May 15th through the 17th. Classic muscle, old school racers, and the coolest throwback machines you've ever seen, all ripping around the 4-mile track. Grab your crew, grab your picks, and get close enough to smell the horsepower. Spring Vintage Weekend, May 15th through the 17th. Come for the experience. Stay for the race. Get tickets at roadamerica.com.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Brian, right before we went to talk to Penn, we were talking about our buddy Cletus McFarland, whose real name is Garrett Mitchell, but we don't want to mix him up with the center fielder for the Brewers, so we'll call him Cletus. He's coming up on a pretty important date at Talladega, and I can't imagine that he has enough experience in a car of this type to be racing at those speeds at that track, right?
Well, that's the big question. So when the last interview was over, many people had said, if after you do this, are you just going to say the heck with it and not work? And he goes, no, I'll be at Talladega. Well, Danny Lawrence, who's one of the main guys for RCR, came back and said he's not. It says NASCAR might ask us to run another race because the thing about it is we didn't get to do live pit stops. Every pit stop he did yesterday must have been under caution. And there were a lot of other things they wanted to see us, this is NASCAR, happen that didn't happen. Didn't get into the specifics as to what those were. So Talladega is coming up fairly quickly here. It's at the end of the month. So I don't know what races you'd be able to get him in. Now, there's an ARCA race at Kansas, but ARCA does not do live pit stops. So there's a big problem with that. And there's also an ARCA race right before the Talladega race. It's on the same day. So it'll be interesting to see because I believe, Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, but all the sponsorship and everything is lined up for this car, right? I mean, they're expecting him to race at Talladega.
Oh, it was like 3 races, I think, a year kind of thing. That car wash place that's on there. put the thing together. They got money for him to do it. He's got to get approved. If you get a chance, everybody goes to frontstretch.com. There's an article by Tom Bowles that kind of runs that website, talking about Cletus McFarland and how he's actually good for the sport. He's actually giving them a platform of how to grow this sport as far as get more new fans. All his following stuff, and he's got a car channel. We always said how to get these kids into cars and to watch the sport. He's kind of got it there. And I get that people are upset that, he's just jumping in these big series, and it's probably not great to just do that. You got to have some kind of a development thing behind it. But, don't sleep on him, and don't like make him a joke, because he's not. He wants to do this. I think there's a way to do this if we embrace it and do it the right way. I get both sides of this argument where they're saying, he can't just jump in a car. I mean, if I had 5 million, if I did a baseball show and I had 5 million viewers, I can't just go pitch for the Milwaukee Brewers, or I can't hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And people shouldn't be able to do that, just jump in a car and run in the top series. But you can get that way. You can start and run like a super late or different kind of, lap times, or get some laps underneath you, so you can kind of get a feel for the whole racing thing and then move up. They're kind of starting to go that way right now, and I think that's okay. I think he did pretty decent in the ARCA race. He did okay in the Norp race as well. I mean, he had a couple issues, but he didn't wreck, and he finished the race. So I can see him maybe doing one more race, because Talladega's got the speeds and stuff. But watch for him and somehow figure out we got to somehow figure out how to embrace this and bring him into the sport and bring all those new fans to it.
And the guy has got incredible car control, which is something that a lot of these kids, you could say, probably don't have. I mean, there were several times yesterday he was flat, wide open sideways, and he saved it. I mean, he never hit the wall. Those are things that you can't just teach that. You're on a simulator, you spin out, you hit the wall, oh, well, you hit reset. He saved the car a lot, and that comes from a lot of his drifting and his Crown Vic stuff and a lot of that stuff he does. So there are facets to his skill set that he has that a lot of others don't. It's just the overall putting it all together to one piece. But, and that's where we're going to be interesting to see. I don't know if RCR would put him. I mean, Kansas has an ORP race. Maybe they put him in that one, to get some experience in. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure because he's hit there's so many people interested in it and following what's going on. I can't see NASCAR passing on the opportunity to find a way to get him so that he runs that Talladega race at the end of the month.
Yeah, no kidding. Greg Biffle, the late Greg Biffle, was kind of like his protege. He was helping him. He was advising him. He was in there with him all the way. And, of course, that has ended. And if I was someone right now that was, picking up Biffle's spot, I would advise the guy to spend as much time as he could in a simulator. Now, they haven't talked about it. Is he doing any simulator time? It seems he should be spending all of his waking hours in simulators. You can see how it has helped many drivers' careers. Now, the part that the simulator, I don't know, that can help him is, the feel of the car. And like Brian was saying, a slower car with more downforce in the ARCA series, is that going to translate to a Norp car when you're when a thing is squirrely as hell, and then you got to come in and try and do a live? Do they do pit stops on simulators?
I would imagine they do. Yeah, they practice it, I'm sure. That's where a lot of these guys get the practice with it. But I think the truck experience at Daytona is what kind of turned everybody off, because he didn't last long, and what did he run, like a lap or two, and he was in the fence and he was done. And that's where everybody, I think, thought, this experiment isn't going to work. And then fast forward to Friday at Rockingham, when they asked him about qualifying, he flat out said, he goes, I'm not going to wreck this car. I may qualify 36th, 38th because I'm not going to wreck it. I want to make all the laps. That's my goal. And that's what he did. So I think he figured it out. He was, he hit the chip too hard at Daytona, wrecked. So now he backed it off a little bit, and he's starting to get a little bit more control. So he's learning before all of our eyes. It's kind of cool to see, actually.
And he's got a little confidence. Nothing like a fourth place finish to put a little wind in your sails and say, I might be able to do this. And it's not that I don't think that anybody questions his commitment to it, because he really wants to do it. And when people say, what is he? Just some, internet guy. What do any of these people do? What do ARCA? Remember when ARCA raced at Daytona, and they would say, the guy's delivering concrete during the week and he's driving a race car here. Well, How is that somehow different? He's learning. He's probably a little late in the learning curve as far as his age goes, but so's SVG. He's just learning how to run left turns all the time.
And he's got the passion. I think that's the best part. So many of these kids, Tristan McKee yesterday, wins the ARCA race, crawls out of the car. Yeah, I won an ARCA race, big deal. Cletus has the passion. Can you imagine if he were to find a way to win a race in the next couple of years? Oh my gosh, he'd probably be doing backflips down the straightaway or something. You like to see the emotion.
That's how it was, wasn't it? I mean, guys from your local tracks, kind of that's when they got to the big time. You were all like, okay, they made it, but they had that behind them. They had all of that experience behind them running the short tracks, and they got good there, and they moved up. I remember the first time Matt Kenseth ran at Talladega, I was on pins and needles that whole race because he was in 3 wide things. And I'm like, boy, can he do this? He's never been this fast in his life, and he pulled it off. Look where it went. But you had that kind of experience behind you to get to that level, and that's what we're starting to do now with Cletus, where he's getting more experience to get him up there, not to just throw him in the pack.
And one thing you got to say about him, he sure is likable. He talks like one of us, and he's learning and in front of our eyes.
And he gives an interview like nobody else.
Nobody else. You got that right. We're going to take a break and be back. We're happy you're tuned in on this Easter morning. We'll be right back.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
Is in the air, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need, with fresh mulch arriving daily, from premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to Enviro mulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years, PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
Chimney Mechanics installs and services wood, natural gas, propane, pellet stoves, and chimneys. We service all of Wisconsin, the UP, and Northern Illinois. We repair all brands and all models of fireplaces, no matter where you bought it. We do custom chimney caps, liners, chimney fire repairs, water and stonework, water leak repairs, and replacement dampers. We do new construction and insurance work. No job is too big or too small. ChimneyMechanics.com. That's Chimney Mechanics with an X. Check us out on Facebook.
The Cup Series ran at Martinsville last week, and woohoo, NASCAR's favorite son, Chase Elliott, whose real name isn't Chase, won the race for the first time this year. It was a Chevrolet. Oh my God, they can win in a car that you can't buy in a showroom because they don't make Camaros anymore. He certainly was helped out by a timely caution and some strategy. Just I have to remember how it worked. They pitted a little early, didn't they? Last week, I think, and it was time to come back out, and he caught a caution at the right time and ended up putting Denny Hamlin behind him, who had the best car and had led the first 2 segments. So just beating Hamlin is kind of a nice thing, isn't it?
Well, Hamlin kind of botched the restart a little bit too, so there was that.
Yeah, well, good for Chase. That our sport needs when these some certain guys win races, and that was one that was overdue and very much appreciated by the sport. The TV ratings last week, interestingly enough, Fox Network, they're the ones that now own the IndyCar series. However, they also have NASCAR on their under their wing, and they ran the Cup race on a satellite/cable network only, FS1. They had these are approximate numbers here, 2.4 million viewers last week. All right, the Norp race on CW, which is not a cable network but is available everywhere, had 1.2, or roughly half of what the Cup race had. IndyCar on Fox Network. The big show had less than 1 million, less than the Norp race, 900,000. That was followed by the MotoGP race with 400,000. And the NASCAR, the ARCA East race was on the NASCAR channel and the Flow streaming network and had 175,000 viewers, which was their largest audience in 10 years. I don't know. Is that because they were on the NASCAR channel maybe? Something bumped that up.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was a Saturday night race at Hickory. I don't know if the Saturday night thing did it or what, but I was kind of impressed to see that. And it actually was a pretty decent race at the end. And then you had the big, dust up between Tristan McKee and the Cookout Kid at the end, where the Cookout Kid was, jacking everybody up and had a whole bunch of, smart ass words to say. So it worked out good for them.
It did. Nothing like a little controversy.
Max Reeves, that is, yeah.
To our sport,
Snot-nosed brat.
Good news and bad news for Daniel Dye. Hey, congratulations. You've been reinstated after your dumbass comments you made. The bad news is, of course, he already resigned from his ride there, and Corey LaJoy has been named the new driver of his Dodge truck. So we'll see if Corey LaJoy will do any better than Daniel Dye. I have my doubts. That team is sucking it pretty bad right now, and we'll see how.
Well, it's all new. We got to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's all new for this year for them. Colleague never ran trucks. Dodge is a different platform, so it's going to take them a little bit to get the bugs out, I think.
Good point. There is this sponsor, the Race Against Suicide, and Dan, shit hit the fan this week with that Race Against Suicide because it's a sponsor on a car, and you say to yourself, well, a sponsorship, what would that entail? Perhaps you want to fill us in on some details here.
Well, there was a report that, the Race to Stop Suicide was Daniel Dye's sponsor, on his cars. And there was a report out there that it's a title, like a nonprofit group type thing, where you can put, when you file all your, tax information or all your financials, expenses and all that, and which some salaries and stuff come off of that is an expense. And what they had saw that like a whole bunch of it was listed as, program reimbursements and like advertising and that kind of stuff to the race team. So in other words, what they all took in, more went to the race team than went to the actual charity. So that was that kind of was out there on, I think it was on Reddit. Somebody put that, and they actually posted the actual form that they had filed for it and stuff. So
do you have any hard numbers there?
I think it was on the Reddit thing, said it was, which is, believe Reddit as much as you want, 321,150 raised, 231,480 to the race team.
So 230 of the 320 went to the race team, and the Race Against Suicide, unfortunately,
got about 40 grand.
Yeah, great.
And that's, as somebody who used to work at a nonprofit, that is bad business. Bad business, because you never want somebody. People look at that. There's websites that you can go to see how much of the percentage of donations actually goes to the actual cause versus administrative. You're going to have some admin costs. Absolutely. Somebody's got to run the programs.
Sure.
But the money didn't really go to run the programs. It went to the race team.
Right. There is a line of thought that has to do with advertising. You're trying to pump up the whole Race Against Suicide mission, and by doing that, you're advertising, which hopefully brings more money. And I guess the real issue, though, is,
are you helping people?
Yeah. How many suicides are we stopping, and how much of this is going to further the career of a race car driver? There are better places to put your money, unfortunately.
And isn't Daniel Dye's dad involved with a board on NASCAR?
I thought I saw it on the NASCAR Foundation board.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So, I don't know. It's kind of, and wasn't there like a little bit of money going to Ben Kennedy, too, with the whole thing?
Yeah, that I'm not 100% sure of that, but that might be the reason why Daniel Dye's not driving the 10 truck anymore and kind of going away.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. As we go to break, I just wanted to mention April 1st has come and gone. And we always think of Alan Kowicki on that day. It's been 33 years. That number just blows me away. Where in the hell did those 33 years go? We'll be right back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Spring is in the air, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need, with fresh mulch arriving daily, from premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to Enviro mulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years, PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
The wait is over. Saturday afternoon, April 11th, the 12th Annual Icebreaker 100 presented by Wegner Automotive thunders back to Dell's Raceway Park. See the Midwest Best Super Late Model drivers go door to door in the first massive event of the 2026 season, plus the Midwest Truck Series and NASCAR Regional 602 Late Models. Gates open at 11, qualifying 12:30, green flag drops at 2. Get your tickets online now at DellsRacewayPark.com and save. Dell's Raceway Park, Wisconsin's best racing entertainment.
The LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Quiet week for dirt racing across the country with the Easter holiday. Most of the major touring series have taken the weekend off, and some bad weather stopped a lot of other events from happening. But there were a couple that they snuck in. We'll start Thursday night, Sweetwater, Tennessee, the I-75 Raceway for the Schaefer Oil Spring Nationals. For the Super Late Model, $7,000 to win. Dale McDowell picked up the win there. Friday night, Georgetown, Delaware, their season opener for the Big Block Modifieds. Billy Pouch Jr. was your winner. And in the Super Late Models, Trevor Collins got the win there. Sumner, Illinois, the Red Hill Raceway, the USAC AMSA National Sprint Car Series, got back in action. First time since Ocala in February, and Justin Grant picked up the win there. They were supposed to race Saturday night in Paragon, but that rained out. Junction City, Kentucky, Friday night. Ponderosa Speedway for the Northern All-Star Super Late Model Series, $10,000 to win. That went to Mikey Marlar. And Rural Retreat, Virginia, the Wythe Raceway for the Spring Nationals, another $10,000 to win. Hudson O'Neill grabbed the win there. Last night, Abbottstown, Pennsylvania, the Lincoln Speedway for the 410 Sprint Cars. Danny Dietrich got the win. And the big money race of the weekend was in Tazewell, Tennessee. The Spring Nationals, $21,000 to win there at the High-Banked Third Mile Oval. And Brandon Overton picked up the win there. And also, news of note, there was a local show at Williams Grove Friday night. And Anthony Macri took a tumble there. Didn't even look serious when you saw the way the flip occurred. But when the car came back on the ground, it landed 4 wheels down really hard and then bounced again. And unfortunately for Anthony Macri, he suffered compression fractures to his T4 and T5 vertebrae. So he's going to take some time to heal up. And unfortunately, he's one of the most talented sprint car racers in the country. If you remember, back in early February, he won, I think, 2 or 3 races at Volusia and picked up the overall Dirt Car Nationals win for the 410 sprint cars. So he's going to be sidelined for a while, so keep Anthony Macri in your thoughts as he recovers. And unfortunately, this is something we see all too often in sprint car racing, and a lot of people ask why that is, and it's because of the angle of the seat. If you go back to the week of PRI and you search, I think his name is The Chaz, has a really good video on it with Chris Ferguson, who's a seat builder. He explains the angle of your seat. And sprint car racers sit at a 10-degree angle, and most cars sit at a 30-degree angle. That 10-degree angle puts all the force on your spine. It's something sprint car racing has been looking to try to figure out a way to get that fixed, and I don't know that there's an answer to it, but this is going to bring that to the head of the talks again after another, popular guy is going to be sidelined for a while.
That is sad. I hope he heals up quick, and I hope they get the seat thing figured out. I watched that video after you shared it with us back then, Brian. fascinating. to say
Yeah,
the
he shared it
least.
again yesterday, just so everybody can look at it again and get to thinking about it again.
Heck yeah. On to the asphalt side of things. We already kind of talked about it a little bit. The ARCA Menards East Series at Rockingham. The winner was Tristan McKee. Cletus McFarland was fourth. Max Reeves was eighth. The Smart Modified Tour ran at Dominion Raceway in Virginia. The winner was Carson Lofton. Ryan Newman was 11th. Locally, the 2026 season will roar to life this coming Saturday, April 11th, with the Icebreaker at Dells Raceway Park. And then some news from the ASA Stars Tour. Freddie Query has stepped down as the head tech director. Rick Turner, not the Rick Turner who is crew chief for Chase Elliott's super late model race efforts, but the head tech for the pro lates in the Southern Super Series, that Rick Turner. He will be stepping into the role as the head tech director, but he has a few conflicts with his schedule. That being said, Todd Thielen, former owner of Slinger Speedway, will be taking the lead role with the tech team on those dates and possibly being involved into the rest of the season. And I say that because Thielen's also going to be helping out with the ASA Midwest Tour because Alex Gilhart quit as the tour's series director. That was a role formerly held by Greg McCarnes. So Todd Thielen going to have a full plate of racing this season. Some of those scheduling,
get away from racing.
yeah. Some of those scheduling conflicts among the three ASA series, the Stars National Tour, the Midwest Tour, and the CRA Southern Super Series, are Sunday, April 26th. The Midwest Tour will be at Slinger. The Stars and the CRA Super Southern Series will be at Dominion Raceway in Virginia. On Saturday, May 23rd, the Midwest Tour at Jefferson Speedway, the Stars Tour at Tri-County Speedway, North Carolina. June 6th, that's a Saturday, the Midwest Tour will be at Norway Speedway in Michigan. CRA Southern Super Series at Flat Rock Speedway in Michigan. Saturday, September 19th, the Midwest Tour at Grundy County Speedway, and the Stars Tour will be at Toledo Speedway. So a lot of different things that are not fully fleshed out. And again, keep in mind, Marty Mello bought the ASA series and everything under that umbrella. So this is his first year. Marty's trying to get everything organized. It ain't going to be perfect as you're trying to get all of the things aligned properly. So everybody should give just a little bit of grace to everybody and be kind because they're going to get things figured out and it's going to be an awesome product.
Locally, we lost a very familiar face around racing in southeast Wisconsin. Mark Brunner, who raced at Hales Corners Speedway for many years, the number 64 car, passed away this week of cancer. I don't know what kind of cancer. I don't know what kind of battle he had with it, but I'm not sure of his age either. Just guessing, I would say he was in his 60s, but I'm not real sure about that. But a very familiar face, and he's going to be missed greatly among the racing circles in our neck of the woods. Mark Brunner passing away of cancer this week. In other news, the Race Team Alliance, you know what that is. It's kind of like the unofficial union that deals with NASCAR. Rob Kaufman has been the guy at the Race Team Alliance since they organized, and it's been over 10 years already. But Rob Kaufman has announced he's going to step down. It's after the whole business that really blew NASCAR apart with Michael Jordan's deal last year. So I don't know what else there's left for Kaufman to
a lot
there.
Well, not with NASCAR. He's winding down his direct influence there with NASCAR politics and structure.
The RTA, yeah.
But he co-owns and revived the International Race of Champions brand. That's the IROC series. And he's partnered with Ray Evernham on this. That series was relaunched recently with manufacturer backing like from Chevrolet. Toby Christie had an article on that. So basically, he's shifting from NASCAR politics to building a new racing product. And IROC aims to bring back that all-star equal car racing, which was a fan favorite concept. So, but Kaufman is involved in a lot of different things. I mean, he's a board member at Haggerty, so he's really big into the car culture. He's an advisor to McLaren Racing, and he's also involved with cryptocurrency as well, too.
Uh-huh. Boy, crypto's been biting it in the ass lately, I'll tell you. Either way, Kaufman is out in NASCAR, or not yet, but he has announced he's going to step down. But we will continue to see him in racing circles. We're glad you're tuned in here on Easter Sunday. We're going to take another break. We'll be back right after these messages.
Miller Sales and Service of Random Lake is where to go for a trailer, no matter what you're hauling. Tom and Jerry Miller have been selling trailers from B&B, Trophy, and Bravo for over 50 years. Quality and integrity is what put them on the map on the corner of 57 and K since 1939. Home of the number 89 dirt and asphalt cars of Brad Miller. That's Miller Sales and Service. It's where to go for a trailer, just 20 minutes north of Milwaukee. Call them 920-994-4358.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
The wait is over. Saturday afternoon, April 11th, the 12th annual Icebreaker 100 presented by Wagner Automotive thunders back to Dell's Raceway Park. See the Midwest Best Super Late Model drivers go door to door in the first massive event of the 2026 season, plus the Midwest Truck Series and NASCAR Regional 602 Late Models. Gates open at 11, qualifying 12:30. Green flag drops at 2. Get your tickets online now at DellsRacewayPark.com and save. Dell's Raceway Park, Wisconsin's best racing entertainment.
Welcome back to LTN. There's going to be a tire test coming up at the Chicago Speedway. It's open to the public. It's on April 21st from 11 to 3. So, if, I don't know, maybe you've got nothing to do. You want to watch a tire test at Chicago? I don't know. Is that very compelling to watch that? They have one or two at the very most cars per manufacturer, and going out on the track, coming back in, going out, I don't know how exciting that is to watch.
Well, people used to watch them test at the Milwaukee Mile, and they came up, and that was just one car going around. And only one car at all. It wasn't even like a tire test. So I think there'll be some interest if people are off and got nothing to do. Go out there and check it out.
It's been a long time since we've seen cars go around that track. 2019 was the last time we saw.
I imagine that.
We don't know how many cars are going to be there either. I mean, when they did a tire test at Rockingham for the Truck Series and the Norp Series, they invited most of them there. So I don't know if they're going to invite most of them to this or not. These cars have never been on that track, this generation car. So I can't see them just having a couple teams do it. If I had a guess, I would say they're going to invite a majority of them there just so they all have the same chance to acquire data.
Hangover and I were when Dale Jr. was driving the Budweiser 8 car. He was at the Milwaukee Mile, and
remember
Hangover and I went and sat in the stands, and wouldn't you know it, the car wasn't going on the racetrack for a while. I'm like, what's up? And Ed Kluka was on the inside, and he called me and he said, hey, they broke a shock mount, and they don't know what to do. They're kind of stuck. Do you have the number for Bailings? So we called Bailing Racing Equipment, and they had a shock mount. So Hangover and I jumped in the car, drove through rush hour traffic, up to Bailing Racing Equipment, picked the part up they needed, drove all the way back, got on the infield, and gave them the parts they can continue their test. Just from watching.
Something else in that same storyline, Billy Preetzel's shop at the time was located over on 75th and Beecher, and he got called for something too because he had whatever piece of equipment it took to fix whatever they were fixing. I don't know. You didn't happen to see him there at that time, did you, Dan?
He might have been. I just remember that was a big deal. We were just going to watch the test and kind of kill some time, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're helping them out and driving in there and getting them the part they needed and inside.
Yeah. One time, now I can't remember the specifics, but the Hendrick all of the Hendrick drivers were at Milwaukee for a test, and Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson and Casey Mears went to dinner down in one of the Mexican restaurants on 5th and National.
Like La Fuente or something like that? Or
Yeah, no, it wasn't Fuente. It was the one on the corner, right on the corner, and it's not there anymore. It's some kind of gay hamburger bar now or something. But they went in and had dinner there. They called they're friends with Norm LaRose, who runs Al's Auto Salvage, and they all went in there and sat down, and people were kind of looking at them thinking, do I know those people? Nobody bothered them. They weren't asked for autographs, but there was a lot of staring going on. But can you imagine that having that group come in and sit down? Just great stuff. Speaking of Casey Mears, he's trying to get to 500 starts in his career for some unknown reason. It's important to him. So he signed up to drive that Beard Motorsports number 62 car for 5 races. Apparently that's going to get him there. It's going to be starting with Talladega. But come on, really, is it that important just to have that number just to fart around in the back of the field with some shit box?
Well, that 62 car isn't bad. I remember Parker Retzlaff almost won Daytona with it, and other guys have had decent cars. The car shows up at some of the speedway races and is actually okay there.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's not the best car, obviously, but it's there. I mean, it's usually in the
Mears has a history of winning and some races too.
He has one win.
Yeah, so there's
I was there. I saw
something. That's something on your resume. That's a hell of a lot more important than 500 starts, I'll tell you.
I was there. I saw it. We saw him in the McAllister's Deli. I was with friends that hadn't really been at a race much, and I said, "Hey, that's one of the guys that's going to drive in the 600 this weekend." And he's like, "Well, how come nobody's bothering him in here?" Because he never wins. And then he went out and won a race that week.
So now he can't go anywhere. Vanderbilt University, and you may have heard of it. You may not know that it's in Nashville, Tennessee. They did a poll this week, supposedly, with residents of Nashville. And what they released was 36% of those who responded want the Nashville Fairgrounds racetrack eliminated, and 26% want improvements to the track and a NASCAR race. Now, I was always kind of crappy at math, but 36 and 26, I added up to 62%. What the hell happened to the other 38%? What did they want? And is it important really what the opinion is? Maybe if you live across from the track, I suppose you might go, I don't want to hear that noise.
Who sent the survey out? Because a lot of times those survey, they'll send it to the people they know are going to get the response back that you get, and then the people that aren't going to respond, they'll probably think the track is there, are just going to throw it away. I'd be kind of curious to see was it a true survey of everybody, or was it kind of maybe targeted to maybe their own kind of people, the same like thoughts that don't want the racetrack, and you're going to get a larger amount of people from that area bringing it in.
College surveys, you always got to keep take them for what they're worth.
Yes.
Now, I will say Nashville next weekend is going to be a big chance to see what they do. Dale Jr.'s Cars Tour is running there, and I believe Jr.'s running the race himself. So it's been a long time probably since we've seen Nashville packed to the gills. I would expect, if the weather is nice, next week will be a shot to see that place packed to the gills and see a lot of people there and see the life that we'd like to see out of the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.
Brian, we're out of time, but the Snowball Derby is going to be available to everybody for free
on Tubi's NASCAR TV.
You will be able to watch the Snowball Derby. It's a downloadable app for streaming. Tubi with an I. Thanks so much for tuning in. And we hope everybody has a wonderful Easter. I'm going over to spend it with Jerry Gunderman and Sherry Gunderman, and Scott Hansen is coming down, and from his trip in Vegas, it's going to be a fun day for us. Hey, real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta, our hard-working, on-the-road engineer somewhere in Indiana. is Matt Losey, and for all of us involved with the program, we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of the station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.